Snakes are among the most colorful and diverse animals in the world. They are composed of 18 families, over 500 genera, and nearly 4,000 species. In this quick guide, we will learn about 50 different types of snakes, from constrictors like boas and pythons, to the highly venomous ones belonging to the viper and elapid families. We will also get to know common snakes like the vine snake and rat snake, as well as some of the most unique and fascinating species such as the elephant trunk snake and blind snake. But before we start, we just want to say that this is only part 1. And if you are new to our channel, please click the subscribe button so you will always be updated with this kind of content. Boas are a family of large non-venomous snakes that kill their prey by constriction. There are 5 subfamilies of boas, and the most well-known among them are the true boas, which can be found in Central and South America, as well as the Caribbean. The small holes on the sides of their faces are called heat-sensing pits, or organs that detect heat, which they use to locate their prey. The green anaconda, which is found in the Amazon and Orinoco basins, is considered the heaviest snake in the world. According to reports, it can weigh up to 227 kilos or 500 kilos. The name of the boa comes from the Latin word meaning rats, although it actually eats more and larger animals. Meanwhile, the common boa or boa constrictor has a wider habitat range than the anaconda and can be found in much of South America. It is known for its excellent camouflage and is also called the red-tailed boa because of the beautiful color change on its tail. The rainbow boa, on the other hand, has a darker color compared to the common boa. It usually has a deep red color and is called a rainbow because of its shiny, iridescent skin that sparkles and looks like a rainbow when hit by the right light. The emerald tree boa is even more striking. It belongs to the family of neotropical tree boas. Notably, young emerald tree boas are born in different shades of red and orange. But after about 9 to 12 months, they gradually turn into a bright emerald green. This change is called autogenic color change. One of the most unique boas is the javelin sand boa, which is also the last boa we will discuss. It can be found in Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. It is smaller than the true boas and usually only grows to about 80 centimeters in length. The dwarf boa, on the other hand, belongs to a separate family of snakes and is also known as thunder snakes. It consists of 2 genera and 36 species. One of these is the Panamanian dwarf boa, which can be found in Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, and Colombia. It usually grows only about 30 to 60 centimeters in length. Pythons, on the other hand, closely resemble boas and are also among the largest and most colorful snakes in the world. This family is composed of 10 genera, including the true python, reticulated python, and tree python. They are found in sub-Saharan Africa, much of Asia, and Australia. The Burmese python is the second heaviest. It is the snake in the world that can weigh over 180 kilos or almost 400 pounds. Although it is already an invasive species in Florida, its natural habitat is in Southeast Asia. One of its most remarkable forms is the albino Burmese python, which has bright yellow and white skin. The ball python, also known as the royal python, is native to West and Central Africa. It usually has a simple color, but due to selective breeding, it has developed a wide variety of color morphs. These include the butterball python, pied royal python, and the completely white blue-eyed leucistic ball python with its rare blue eyes. Finally, the reticulated python is recognized as the longest snake in the world, which, according to reports, can reach up to 10 meters or more than 30 feet in length. The word reticulated means having a net-like or web-like pattern, which refers to the highly detailed and interconnected markings on the skin of this species. The remarkable green tree python can be considered the python counterpart to the emerald tree boa. It is notable that young green tree pythons may be born bright yellow or deep orange to red, before eventually turning green when they reach about 1 year old. The last species we will discuss in the python family is the black-headed python, a monotypic species found only in Australia. It lives in tropical regions and primarily feeds on various types of reptiles, including other snakes. as well as small mammals. Now let's move on to vipers, a group of venomous snakes that are smaller than boas. They have long fangs that they use to inject venom into their prey. The venom of vipers is hemotoxic, which destroys blood and body tissues. Although dangerous, it usually does not kill as quickly as neurotoxic venom, which attacks the nervous system and is used by elapids that we will discuss later. Pit vipers are the largest subfamily of vipers, including lanceheads, rattlesnakes, and moccasins. They are easily recognized because of the heat-sensing pit located between their nostril and eye on both sides of the head. They use these organs to detect the heat of their prey. One of the most colorful pit vipers is the eyelash pit viper. It can be seen in bright yellow, various shades of green, and even white. It's called the eyelash pit viper because of the row of scales above its eyes that look like eyelashes. These serve as protection while it lives in the trees. The common lancehead, better known as the fer de lance, has a color similar to a boa or python and can be found in Central and South America. It is one of the most venomous members of the viper family. It often hunts rats that live in banana and coffee plantations. The Sunda Island pit viper is the first of 3 colorful vipers that belong to the Asian lancehead group. It can be found in different colors, but the most remarkable is the rare blue-green skin, a color that is almost never seen in other types of snakes. The McGregor's pit viper is native to the Batanes Islands of the Philippines and has a unique, completely white form. This species was named after Richard Crittenden McGregor, who once survived after being bitten while collecting the first specimen of this species. The brown-spotted pit viper, also known as the beautiful pit viper, is one of the snakes that truly deserves its name. It has a beautiful checkered green and brown skin with turquoise stripes and can be found in southern Thailand. The diamondback rattlesnake is one of the heaviest venomous snakes in the world, weighing up to 6.7 kilos or 15 pounds. It is a type of pit viper with a rattle on its tail, which it uses as a warning to enemies before it attacks. The western diamondback rattlesnake is found in the southern United States and Mexico. Meanwhile, the rock rattlesnake is smaller and has a paler skin color. It has 4 known subspecies, including the banded rock rattlesnake and the mottled rock rattlesnake, which use their unique skin patterns as effective camouflage in rocky environments. The eastern copperhead is the first of the 2 types of American moccasin that we will discuss. Its Latin name is Contortrix. Tortrix comes from the Latin word meaning twisted, intricate, or complex, referring to the winding patterns on its skin. The cantil is another type of moccasin found in Mexico and Central America. It usually measures about 60 centimeters or 24 inches in length. Although it doesn't have a rattle on its tail, it shakes its tail when it senses danger as a warning to its enemies. The true vipers, also known as pitless vipers, are different because they don't have the heat-sensing pits found in other members of the viper family. They are often called true adders, and this group includes the day adder, night adder, and puff adder. One of the most unique species in this group is the rough-scaled bush viper, also known as the hairy bush viper. It has protruding scales on its back that give it an almost dragon-like appearance. It can be found in Central and East Africa, including Congo, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. And finally, the green bush viper, also known as the variable bush viper, may be one of the most colorful snakes on this entire list. They are small, with an average length of 60 centimeters or 24 inches. And they can be found in a wide variety of colors such as green, yellow, reddish-orange, gray, and even black. The many-horned adder is a type of puff adder that lives in the rocky deserts of southern Africa. It got its name because of the 2 to 5 protruding scales above its eyes that look like horns. These resemble the eyelashes of the eyelash pit viper that we discussed earlier. Meanwhile, the desert horned viper can be found on the other side of the continent in North Africa and some parts of the Middle East. Unlike the many-horned adder, each of its horns is made up of only a single protruding scale, so it can be easily distinguished from other species in the same group. The spider-tailed horned viper is the last type of viper we will discuss. It is one of the most unique of all snakes and can only be found in a small part of western Iran. The tip of its tail resembles a spider, and it uses it as a lure. It waves its tail to attract birds that eat insects, and when they come close, it quickly strikes and bites its prey. Now let's move on to the Elapids, the family of the most venomous snakes in the world. This includes snakes that live on land and even in water. Unlike vipers, which can hide their fangs when not in use, the fangs of elapids are always positioned at the front of the mouth. They release a very potent neurotoxic venom, a type of poison that directly attacks the nervous system of their victim. One of the most well-known and most feared members of this family is the king cobra. Although it is often called a cobra, it does not actually belong to the true genus of cobras. Instead, it belongs to its own monotypic genus, which means it is the only representative of that group. Furthermore, recent DNA analysis has shown that there may be more than one species of king cobra in existence. The Indian cobra is the first of the 3 true cobras that we will discuss. This species plays a very important role in the mythology, religion, and culture of India, where it is often regarded as a sacred animal and symbol, a symbol of power and protection. Although it is an important part of Indian culture, the Indian cobra is also included in the so-called Big Four, the 4 types of snakes responsible for the most snakebite cases in the Indian subcontinent. The Samar cobra is one of the most colorful types of cobra and is native to several select islands in the Philippines. It mainly feeds on small rats and reptiles. It is easily recognized because of its beautiful black and yellow skin, which is different from most other cobras. Another unique species is the red-spitting cobra, which has dark red scales and a black stripe on its neck. It is mainly found in East Africa. Its venom is a combination of neurotoxic and cytotoxic venom, so it not only affects the nervous system but also destroys the body's cells. The ring-halls or ring-necked spitting cobra is another unique type of cobra that belongs to its own monotypic genus, which means it is the only representative of that group. It can have a checkered pattern, or be almost completely black in color, but it always has a white ring near the upper part of its body that serves as its main identifying feature. The Cape coral snake belongs to a group of snakes known as shield-nosed cobras, or coral cobras. It has 2 subspecies, and both are found in southern Africa. In many ways, it serves as a bridge between the cobras we discussed and the next group we'll talk about, the coral snakes. Coral snakes are divided into Old World and New World coral snakes. The Old World coral snakes are composed of 3 genera and are found in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Meanwhile, the New World coral snakes are composed of 2 genera and are found in North and South America. The Eastern coral snake is also known as the candy stick snake, coral adder, or American cobra. Although it is not a close relative of the true cobras, except that they both belong to the Elapid family, this species is small and rarely exceeds 80 cm or 31 inches. The Australian coral snake is almost the opposite of the eastern coral snake in many aspects. Although it is still venomous, it is smaller and usually only reaches about 38 cm or 15 inches in length. It is also a burrowing snake, so it spends almost its entire life underground. The blue Malaysian coral snake, which belongs to the Oriental coral snake genus, is one of the most venomous coral snakes in the world. Its venom glands can reach up to 25% of its total body length. It is native to Southeast Asia, and one of its most unique characteristics is that it eats other snakes. The McClelland's coral snake, on the other hand, was named after the naturalist John McClelland. It has 4 recognized subspecies and can be found in much of Eastern, Southern, and Southeast Asia. This includes the Ryukyu Islands of Japan. Sea snakes can refer to a single family or to a total of 7 families of snakes that live in the sea, including sea kraits. They spend almost their entire lives in the shallow tropical waters of the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Except for one genus, almost all sea snakes can no longer live permanently on land. The yellow-lipped sea krait is probably the most well-known sea snake. It is easily recognized because of the black and blue stripes on its body. It also has a yellow upper lip and snout, which is where its name comes from. It also has a paddle-shaped tail that it uses for efficient swimming. The banded sea krait, also known as the Chinese sea krait, has almost the same skin pattern, but its color is paler. It surfaces above the water roughly every 6 hours to breathe, just like all sea snakes. This one is highly venomous, and according to some reports, its venom is even more deadly than that of a cobra. The yellow-bellied sea snake belongs to the main family of sea snakes, Hydrophinae, which consists of 36 other species. Most of them have yellow bellies and black backs, although there are also individuals that are completely yellow in color. Meanwhile, the olive sea snake is one of the most beautiful species of sea snakes. It eats crustaceans, fish, and fish eggs. Its main predators are sharks and ospreys. It is said to be one of the most venomous sea snakes, and its venom helps dissolve the flesh of its prey. This makes it easier to digest in their digestive system. Although we have already discussed some of the main groups of elapids, including cobras, coral snakes, and sea snakes, there are many other fascinating species. There are many amazing types of snakes that belong to this family. Aside from cobras, coral snakes, and sea snakes, there are many other fascinating genera that belong to the highly venomous Elapid family. These include kraits, mambas, brown snakes, taipans, and death adders. One of the most remarkable members of this group is the banded krait. Do not confuse this with the sea krait we discussed earlier, because this is a type of snake that lives on land. It is commonly found in termite mounds in the rural areas of East Asia. The black mamba is one of the most well-known and most feared snakes in the world. It can be found in some parts of sub-Saharan Africa. Of all the venomous snakes, it is the second longest, next only to the king cobra. Meanwhile, the western green mamba lives in tropical forests and woodlands along the coast of West Africa. It is one of the two species of green mamba, while the other is the eastern green mamba, which can be found in East and Southern Africa. The eastern brown snake can reach up to 2 meters, or almost 7 feet in length, and it is considered the second most venomous snake in the world. It can be found in Australia and New Guinea, especially in farmlands where there are many house mice. These are its main food source. The ringed brown snake is a close relative of the eastern brown snake. It can be recognized by the 4 to 7 dark bands that encircle its body, although in some individuals these bands are not very noticeable. Despite its name, the king brown snake is not actually a true brown snake. Instead, it is the first of 2 types of black snakes that we will discuss. It is one of the large snakes that can grow up to 3.3 meters or 11 feet in length. It can have a dark brown color, black or reddish brown. The inland taipan, also known as the fierce snake, has a unique ability to change the color of its skin depending on the season to help regulate its body temperature. It can only be found in Australia and is recognized as the most venomous snake in the world. The coastal taipan, or common taipan, can be found in the coastal regions of Australia and in New Guinea. In New Guinea, there's a very colorful subspecies known as the Papuan taipan, which has a paler body and an orange-colored head. The tiger snake, on the other hand, is named because of the stripes on its body that resemble those of a tiger. It is an excellent swimmer and can have different colors depending on the region of Australia where they are found. The common death adder is the first of the 2 types of death adders that we will discuss, and it is also the last member of the Elapid family on this list. It has the longest fangs of any snake in Australia, and when it strikes, one of the biggest threats to their population now is the growing number of cane toads, an invasive species. The desert death adder, on the other hand, has excellent camouflage that suits the desert environment. It can have a brick red color or a yellowish brown hue. It can be found in central and western Australia, where it mainly eats lizards and small mammals. And that's it for the 5 types of snakes in the world. If you want to watch part 2, click the subscribe button and see you again in our next video.